Hello there again, this is Irish Prepper, coming at you with another little cheapo way. And you know what, I'm gonna point out right now, I say cheap a lot, and I don't mean cheap, I just mean inexpensive. And as preppers, we should be looking for the inexpensive, not the cheap, because we do want quality, okay? We want things that have dual purposes, that, you know, obviously can be used for more than one thing. That's what I mean by dual purpose. And that are going to work well for us, okay? Right here we have hand sanitizer for cooking fuel, okay? And I couldn't really put down like a 1, 2, 3, 4 of things you're gonna need to get and all this stuff. So I put down you know, bullet points of why we want to use sterno for a cooking fuel, okay? I know there's a bunch of YouTube videos out there right now, and it was kind of a little craze a couple weeks ago where you take the tube out of a toilet paper roll and you squeeze it down and you put it in a coffee can, and you light that and it lasts for a long time when you pour alcohol on it, okay? I mean, that's just, it does work, okay? I tried it, I like it, but I don't like it as good as this, okay? Or as much as this, okay? And reason for that is because it's freaking hard to do. You need a ton of alcohol. It's kind of awkward, okay? Plus you have to buy these huge cans. Whereas with hand sanitizer as a cooking fuel, it has a bunch of different qualities that just make it a better choice, I think, anyways. And it's the reason why I've used it instead of, because I've heard of the I can't remember if I heard about the toilet paper roll thing or I actually thought of it up on my own, but because it seems like such a simple idea, I probably did come up with it on my own. But anyways, I'm not claiming that I invented the internet or anything like that. But anyways, this is the way this is the thing that I've loaded up on as being useful, because I'd much rather use my hand to wipe my ass, okay, and excuse my language, and then sanitize it with some hand sanitizer that smells good, than use up some of that precious TP that's eventually going to run out if we're in a, you know, a SHTF type situation, okay? Eventually you're going to run out, okay? And then you're going to be turning to books or leaves or some crap like that, whereas you can just rinse your hand off. I know it sounds gross, but let's be realistic here. Rinse your hand off a little bit with some water, and there you go, quarter-size squirt of hand sanitizer. Keep your hands moist for 30 seconds or less, or more, and there you go. You're good to go. So anyways, so we're gonna get on to why, okay? And these aren't in any particular order. I just wrote them down as fast as I could. So the first one, hotter than sterno. I've actually tested that. We had one of those what do you call it? Those infrared thermometers where you just point it at and you pull the trigger, right? We did a comparison test with the sterno versus, or I've done it with sterno versus the hand sanitizer, and the sanitizer burns a lot hotter. Okay, I don't remember the exact temperatures. I just remember being pleasantly surprised and getting a good sense of satisfaction that I had made the right choice. Okay, this whole thing came about like we were back. I was camping a few years ago, and you know, I was sitting there, and I remember reading at the campfire, and I guess I just, you know, I don't know, maybe I just wiped my own butt with my hand. I don't remember, but I remember looking at this hand sanitizer, one of those little, you know, personal travel things that just go on your keychain, basically. I remember reading the label on it, and it said it was 70% ethyl alcohol. You know, so I squirted on the fire and burned right up, and, you know, I squirted it into a little pile and lit it on fire. I remember being really hot, you know, and that was a good idea. And this is all before I started really doing a lot of the my prepper stuff, be really getting into that. But I just remember that, and so when I did start getting into this, that was one of my key things that when I was looking for dual purpose items, that I would be able to use that. Anyways, you know, most of the time I get this stuff at leading into the second bullet point. Most of the time I get this stuff at Sam's Club, okay, under their Maker's Mark label. Very freaking cheap. They almost always have it on sale for some reason, especially around flu season and all this, you know, those types of year, times of year. And you know, I've seen it for as low as $5.50 for a 2-liter bottle. Okay, when 2 cans of Sterno are usually $6 to $8 or more. Okay, and here's the thing, Sterno, it isn't for cooking, right? Most people think it's for cooking because you always see it on those, you know, buffet lines and stuff like that. They're not made for cooking, really. Okay, like I kind of pointed out, alcohol burns hotter than Sterno. Sterno is actually only made to keep food warm as it's on the buffet line. Okay, and just to keep it going for you, it can cook, obviously. I had a couple friends when I was in the Scouts when I was a kid. One of the kids, he thought it was the coolest thing because it burned. It was blue when it was burning, and you could barely see the flame. It was more actually like a lavender purple color, but it was hot, but you could like stick your finger in it for a second and want to burn it off, you know. And I just remember thinking that was so cool. But this is a better idea right here. Okay, I feel that it's a better idea. So anyways, so it burns hotter. You can always get it for cheap for large quantities, okay? Because those little cans, those aren't even like 12-ounce cans. Those are like 3-ounce cans of Sterno. And we're talking 2 liters for like $5, okay? Maybe a little bit more. I mean, inflation's, you know, hitting us pretty hard right now, and things are starting to get pretty expensive. But when you buy these, guess what? It comes with its own pump, right? It comes with its own hand pump. And you can always keep them everywhere. You can just have them around the house. You know, you don't have to actually just have a whole storage. I do, but you don't have to have just a section in your food storage part of your basement or your prepping area that's dedicated solely to hand sanitizer. Okay, and so leading us into the next thing, it's usually available in large quantities. When you get it, obviously you can have the littler ones, and guess what? That's going to work just fine. And this stuff lasts a long time. It doesn't just burn right up. It's kind of like the toilet paper gives the alcohol a place to set and kind of soak in and only give off so much alcohol at a time for use as the fuel, right? But the gel has the hand sanitizer has the gel in there as its its place where it sets up and is able to, you know, let off just a little bit of fuel, just as much as you need. Still burns really hot at the same time. So and then very lastly, right down there, it smells good, right? Let's say you have so much of this stuff because you got it, a bunch of it, and it was cheap, and so you can't always, let's say we're in a Teotihuacan and the end of the world as we know it situation, right? Everybody's using outhouses now, okay? Because there's no more running water, no more flushing toilets, okay? And so we're using outhouses, and the matches are a luxury item, right? They start fires very easily for us, okay? We're not going to be wasting a match burning one as we, you know, leave the outhouse, okay? Maybe because this hand sanitizer was pretty abundant, you know, maybe we have huge stockpiles of it. Maybe there's just a can that we just leave burning in the outhouse, giving off that nice hand sanitizer smell, okay? And or, you know, just in general around our homes, because everybody's going to be pretty stinky, seeing as that there's not a lot of running water for a lot of sanitizing and hygiene, okay? So these could really help put us all in a little bit better mood, not having to spell everybody, each other's BO. And the good thing about burning alcohol, I'm sure you guys know this, but is that it uses up alcohol, it uses up oxygen, but its byproduct is just water, basically. Okay, there's really not a lot, if any. I'm not even sure what the ratios are, but we're not talking about a ton of carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide being let off. That's gonna poison us. So, anyways, there's some things to think about. Hand sanitizer for cooking fuel. You can get on if you like using the sterno-sized cans. You can always get on to like HarborFreight.com, and you can buy those little cans for really cheap. I think they sell them for like 25 cents or 30 cents or something like that. Really cheap. You can buy a bunch of them and just load up. I mean, it does make it a little bit easier to just grab one or two of those if you're going to be going on like a hunting party or something like that. They'll last you. 2 of those things will probably last you about a week, and that's not an exaggeration. We've done that. And obviously, I'm just talking about cooking small amounts of fuel, like a can of beans or something like that. I'm not talking about heating huge amounts of water to a boil and takes an hour to do that or whatever. But just as like in one of your little rocket stoves or something like that, this will come by and come through for you in a pinch. Okay, so this is Irish Pepper signing out. Keep watching our videos, okay? Keep watching my videos, that is. And you guys take care. See you later.